Good morning. This is the first day back on the farm in northeast Missouri. I'm just giving you a small look at the farm. As you can see, we have old-fashioned hollyhocks. Those bushes are lilac trees that bloom the most delicious smelling flowers. Some phlox, tiger lilies. The garden. Here in the States, we call the grass around the house a yard, where we grow vegetables and flowers. We call a garden. My son's planted watermelon and cantaloupe, I'm sure. Apple tree, it'll blossom, and this one as well. And then we'll have apples in the farm. We are in the process of starting raising wildflower fields. My son is a private land conservationist, and here are some of the flowers. Black-eyed Susans, I think asters, moonflowers that are in bloom right now. In front of me, right over there, next year will always be in flowers. Regardless of the season, we'll have flowers growing there. We have some other property that will also be growing flowers. But this is in the front of our yard. Behind it, the flowers over there, we rent out for a hay field. This is my mother-in-law's place, and we inherited it from her. Straight over there are where we have the goats. I think there's a couple of calves hiding out. There are weeds in these flower beds. We just got here yesterday. This is a picture of the old farmhouse. Over 100 years old. I'm walking to one of the flower beds I want to get made. This year, due to my heart problems, it's not going to happen. I'm not even putting flowers in pots because I don't know how I'll feel. These, I believe, are Asian lilies. Please, if you know different, let me know. A lady that was here one afternoon, that's what she thought they were. But we'll plant here. We'll redo the bricks. As I see, my heart flew off. It's a very windy day. I got that from Sundance. I like the old and the rusty, the shabby chic look. These are hostas. Last year I also planted mums. The mums didn't make it. The weeds did very well. This is a huge flower bed my mother-in-law always had beautiful. We're working on it. Last year, my husband and son and grandson worked so hard bringing in fresh black dirt. Nice thing about Missouri, you get lots of black dirt, and if you have livestock, it's fertilized well. In front of me is It just left my brain. Blooms in the spring, and in Missouri it's very hard to grow it. They're azaleas, but in Florida they're just as natural as can be. And as you can see, when I have some grandchildren around, even at 6 and 10, I'll have them help Nana, because Nana has to be very careful. That's some wandering Jew. These are some lilies with weeds growing very, very well. This I'll get filled up for hummingbirds. That's my husband's den, and he can sit at his computer and watch the hummingbirds. This is more of that beautiful black dirt. Way back, you can see the goats, the shed they like to get in. There's one of the cows. Right now, my son, grandson, and husband are at the fair with Emerson and Jackson and Nikki, Jackson's mom. You'll hear me talk a lot about them. There's the car barn. That's where the baby goats are. We had baby goats yesterday morning. More black dirt. A lot of people have never seen black dirt, but here in Missouri, it's wonderful. Here's rocks my mother-in-law brought. Here's a snowman I believe can come down. I think it's probably time. I have a Mary Poppins somewhere, but not even sure where she's at. This is the back of the house. I'm not showing the alcove, it's filthy. I've got to get in there. This I'd like to make into either a patio or an herb garden. Don't you love where my husband hung the pumpkin? Not knowing where it's going to go. Get a place any. I'd love to redo that chair. Last year in the pan were flowers. There's one of the family dogs. This is Bo. This is my son's lab. And when we're here, he likes to come up and visit. He'll pump the deck, and we've made a circle. Those chairs will be moved. That's the cooler we brought things up in. The garage we just had built this winter. More black dirt for flowers. I love gardening. Flowers. Vegetables are their own thing. Till we built the shed, that's where we had to park the vehicles. There's the grain bins we used to use all the time when we were farming. We raised corn, beans, wheat. We hayed. We had hogs, pigs, cattle, and personally we raised elk, and the elk were all in that pasture straight ahead where we're going to grow the wild flowers. So that ground, this is its first full year in the ground. This is a machine shed, just something where we keep tools. Back here I've got irises and weeds. The irises love this area. I replanted them last year, so we've got a weed. And what's brown needs to be removed. The grandkids are wonderful at helping Nana. They do know that I about died in February, and so they're very helpful when Nana needs something. Here's a closer look. This is a flower bed my mother-in-law made. Used to be an old wooden fence along here we took down. I believe that's a yucca plant. This may tell you more. I've got an app on my phone that I just have to look at. Strawberries are right there, and green beans, and tomatoes. Nothing like tomatoes that's been grown in black dirt. Now I prefer lots of salt on them, but I wouldn't touch a tomato, ketchup, pizza, spaghetti, anything as a child. And now I do eat not only those things, but love a good tomato. There's the watermelon, fresh and small. My son takes care of all that. His daughter, Emerson, who just turned 6, can out-eat anyone with fruit and vegetables. There you can see a wild, well, it's not wild, but you can see a big sunflower. I'm walking towards it so you can have a better look. I'm trying to walk slowly. And that's what grows in there, I think. Notice the I think. Now, if you'd follow this lane down and around to where all those trees are, that's where we lived when we first were married, and that's where we raised Andy. There's a log home down there. And that's currently where Nikki, Andy, and the kids live. So it's just a quarter of a mile from there up to the house. And the kids ride their bikes. Emerson will ride her little electric car, with her blanket, her pink baby, her iPad, anything she thinks needs to come up for Nana when she's tired of her brother or she needs a break. She'll just let everybody know she's going to Nana's. I love that one sunflower coming up. More grain bins. You can see my son's work truck. We just have the one son, so it's kind of what's ours is his. Aren't those hollyhocks gorgeous? I don't know how they'd look in a vase. I just picked some black-eyed Susans and asters to put in a vase in the house. The little phlox. I love bringing the flowers out. I'm not feeling too well today, so I didn't go to the fair. Thought this might be a nice quiet time. And as you can see, Bo didn't move. It's a beautiful place up here in northeast Missouri. Absolutely gorgeous. I hope you all have a lovely day. Get some sun, vitamin D. Look for the flowers in life and know you have a purpose.